Welcome back to Mona's Take. I am Mona Rose, your host, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the channel. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. Alright, welcome back. I am back home now, as you can see, which is a good thing. Rested up and ready to get started again. Survivor starts on Wednesday. I'll be covering that. I wasn't able to get on to the BB Canada, so I'm not going to do it this season, but I will try to figure it out before next season and cover it as well. I'm really excited about Real Housewives of Atlanta's coming up, and I'll be doing a video sometime this weekend on Real Housewives of New Jersey because it's getting really good. I'm starting to get caught up with everything again. I appreciate you guys hanging with me and bearing the storm. Will Toddrick be canceled? As you can see, I'm wearing my HOH robe that I just got in, and I'm hoping that he will be canceled. I doubt he will be, but after the research that I've done since I've gotten home and the things I found out after the show with other people that he's worked with and worked for and things of that nature, I felt I had to do a video. So will he cancel himself? You be the judge of that. I'm going to start out with a house guest, a few of them, and then I'm going to go on to some people that he worked with. So stay tuned. Carson is way more generous than anyone I've ever known in my life. Toddrick really didn't say anything real personal about him. Yeah, he did play him. He played the game. He tricked him. He lied to him to get him to do what he wanted to. That's game. So Carson really doesn't have the perspective that some of the other house guests have. He's hoping that when Toddrick gets out that he'll go back and look over what he's done and make some apologies, reflect on himself, and do better. After what I found out, I highly doubt that. We all know that Toddrick has not done any interviews, period. He has ghosted everyone. He got out of the house, he went home, and we have not heard anything from him. I think one of his managers posted something on his Twitter feed about his upcoming concert tour, which we'll see how that goes for him. Todd is still upset. He is still on Twitter, and he is owed an apology, he feels like. And I feel like he is too. And it's not just Toddrick. Misha was right there with Toddrick, talking smack, laughing at what Toddrick said, and not calling him out on it. So I feel like she's just as much fault as he is, because she said some nasty stuff too. Being an MMA fighter and trying to be a badass, it's probably going to help her career instead of hurt it, is what I feel like, but we'll see. But she did win the $250,000, so I don't think she has anything to worry about for a minute. Todd says that what they did was childish, unnecessary, and he says he didn't want to win that way. He said if they want to win that way, God bless them. I hope they're happy. He goes on to say, I know Toddrick's not happy because he's out hiding in his house somewhere. So they're just waiting for him to come out and go public. But I don't think he will. I don't think Toddrick will address it. I think he will act as if it never happened. I don't think he will engage because his managers are probably on him telling him not to. And it's probably driving him crazy. And I just think that with a man that could not stop talking, every single time the live feeds were turned on, that man was talking. Even if he was by himself, he was talking to himself. But yet he has nothing to say to us, the viewers, the American public, the ones that he thought would just love him. He has not said a word. It's been crickets. Todd goes on to say that that's how people do when they know that they've done wrong and they're guilty. They hide. He also says that both of them owe him an apology, but that he's not interested in keeping up a friendship with either one of them. He said he made some really good friendships in the house. Him and Lamar talking about doing some type of reality TV together. I think which will be hilarious. He's got me saying that word now. Todd's favorite word, I have come to find out from watching all of his interviews, is hilarious. But I think it would be really funny to see those two together. Cynthia Bailey, she still has no idea. All she knows is what her husband's told her, and I don't think he watched the live feeds. I know he watched every episode of the show, but as you all know, the show did not show the reality of what was going on in that house. They did not show the vile nature of Toddrick. They did not show the mean side of Misha. Everything was tied into a pretty little bow, and they were the greatest duo on earth, and none of the other stuff was addressed. She does say that she owes Shayna an apology. However, she turned right around and doubled down and made excuses for why she said what she said. I think if you truly owe somebody an apology, you're just going to say, I owe you an apology and I'm sorry. Not, I owe you an apology, but this is why I did it and you've got to understand it. No. All right, Misha. She says that she was surprised by the vote. She didn't understand all of the comments that was directed towards her and Toddrick. She also says she was asked about the conversation that her and Toddrick were having right after the votes when they were going to commercial, and the camera went to the house and Toddrick got up and stormed off after talking to Misha. So the interviewer asked her what that was about, and she said that they saw Todd roll his eyes and that they didn't know what that was about and that they were discussing that, and then Toddrick stormed off. She said they were trying to decipher what was going on and why everybody was so angry. She didn't understand it. Okay, this thing is coming off because that's about how I feel right now. Really? You didn't know what was going on? You couldn't understand the hate? You can't be that naive. She goes on to say that she's got to do better because she's got to be an inspiration to her children, and that she tells her children not to judge anyone for anything. That's kind of a double standard, seeing as you judged everybody in the house. Enough about Misha. Chris Kirkpatrick. He was asked about how he felt about the way Toddrick talked to him. He said, the way that Toddrick talked to me was a surprise. I didn't expect it. I'm just going to read this because I know I'm going to mess it up. He says, the way he talked to me wasn't a surprise. It was hurtful, and it's hard when someone plays the victim all the time and is a bully. He tells them that it hurt when they brought up his family into the game, and that's when he fought back. I think every member of that cast, with the exclusion of Carson and Cynthia, Toddrick never got personal with them. He got personal with everybody else in the house. That was not game. That was his nature. And my mom always told me God don't like ugly. And some of the things he did were just plain ugly. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think he's going to get canceled? That's not the worst of Toddrick. Now we move on to the outside world. Toddrick had an assistant, Tommy Italiano. He went on to a podcast with the Zen Blonde, and he did a series of interviews. He decided after he saw Toddrick on TV that he would speak out. He has never spoke out before now. And I tend to believe him. He was very convincing. He accused Toddrick of abuse. Tommy said, it's been a tumultuous relationship from the beginning, Tommy recalled, work-wise and personally. He is someone who's very manipulative. He tells the Zen podcast that he was able to look past some of the things that Toddrick was doing because Toddrick made him feel like part of the family. He called him brother, his mom called him her son, and they just made him feel like he was part of the family. So he stayed a lot longer and saw a lot more than what he should have. He said it was a very toxic environment. He said that Toddrick would exploit fans to get them to work for free so that he didn't have to pay labor, so he could get free labor. He was accused of allegedly not paying his dancers. He was accused of allegedly not paying some videographers, the people who video for you. He was accused of not paying them, allegedly. He was also accused of cyberbullying one of his former dancers. Tommy said that things went south for him when he started to take up for that dancer, Tom White. Evidently, Toddrick was running him down on social media, and Italiano stuck up for him. Well, then Toddrick called threatening Tommy Italiano. Now remember, this guy is supposed to be like part of his family. He's his brother. Then he does the most despicable thing that I've heard so far. Tommy Italiano has HIV. Toddrick called him and told him that if he didn't stop talking bad about him, and that if he said anything else about him, that he was going to go onto social media and he was going to let everyone know that Tommy was HIV positive, and that he was having unprotected sex with people and not letting them know, and that he would ruin his reputation and he would never work in this field again. That's bad enough. But then Toddrick calls Tommy's mother. At that time, Tommy's mother did not know that he was HIV positive. Toddrick calls her and tells her that he's HIV positive. I'm sorry, but that's a bitch move. That right there tells me that what we saw in that house was Toddrick Hall. That is his personality. That is who he is. And he realized that it's not cute And so he doesn't want to face the media. He doesn't want to have to answer for what he did in there. So let's just ghost everyone. But it's going to be hard to ghost everybody when he starts his tour, because I'm sure he's going to have some sort of media. We will see. And I'm so annoyed right now after reading all of the stuff that I just read. And it just shows that he's a snake. He can't be trusted. He's out for number one. And he will step on and hurt anyone he has to get to the top. That's my opinion. Tell me in the comments what's your opinion. Do you think he's going to cancel himself? Do you think that people that actually follow him and his music follow Big Brother and know what he did in there? Or some of the other stuff that he's done on the outside? I don't know. We can only hope. But with that, I'm going to end the video. I will see you guys back here, hopefully, when I start with the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then Survivor starts Wednesday night. So I will be covering that. Got to do a little research. I haven't even seen the cast yet. I've seen bits and pieces, so I'm going to cover that. But anyway, you guys have a great day. And as always, much love.